Effects on K1 Fiancé visa process due to COVID-19, the coronavirus. This is Fred Wahl, the VisaCoach. Now today's topic is, how has the pandemic affected how long it takes to get a K1 Fiancé visa? The whole world has been inconvenienced by the coronavirus pandemic. But life goes on. Romance goes on. Fiancé visa applications in process at the time quarantine started have been on hold for many months, and new applications continue to be submitted and also face delays. Now, while USCIS is currently processing cases faster than usual, the State Department, due to worldwide embassy closures, is slowed to a crawl. Cases now hurry up through USCIS and then wait at the Department of State. So today my purpose is to explain what is happening behind the scenes at USCIS, NVC, and the US Embassies so that you and your partner will understand what to expect and how to deal with it. Hopefully, this knowledge should help you sleep better. I am Fred Wahl, the VisaCoach, and I work for you to prepare and craft your applications to submit to US Immigration. Sometimes callers call me and ask, do I fill in the forms for them, or do they have to do it themselves? Well, absolutely. It will be me filling in all the needed forms and putting together your application. Now, after we submit your application, I do not abandon you. I'll remain with you on this journey. I continue by your side, personally helping and guiding you until that, happy day your foreign partner calls to say she or he is on the way. And please watch to the end of this video, because around that time I will explain, that you may be able to speed up your case's approval. Now, let's talk about how the COVID-19 pandemic has affected K1 Fiancé visa cases. At the time before the pandemic quarantines began, Fiancé visas typically took a total of about 8 to 10 months from submission of application till issuance of visa. This normally included 6 to 8 months processing at USCIS, followed by 2 to 3 months at NVC and the Consulate. USCIS closed their public offices in March. They no longer allowed visitors or conducted interviews. At the same time, country by country, borders were closed, flights were canceled, stay-at-home orders occurred, non-essential businesses closed. USCIS employees, did not really suffer. Their jobs and pay continued. Front office employees were relocated to work temporarily in their back offices. Review and processing of cases continued as usual, except there were more hands available to work on cases. At the same time, a lot of couples who normally would be filing their new applications decided to delay taking action. Maybe their flight was canceled, keeping them from making that final trip needed to gather evidence or to meet for the first time. Maybe, waiting to find out how the pandemic would affect, their jobs and income. Now, what happened then was that USCIS had extra staff to process cases. And at the same time, less new cases were filed. They received only 4 out of 10 of the usual number of new cases. So, 100% employees and only 40% of expected cases, resulting in new cases being processed and passed through USCIS stage faster. Instead of taking 6 to 8 months, many current cases take only 2 to 3 months. Now, good news is most recent Fiancé visa cases get through the USCIS stage twice as fast as normal. But the bad news is the next step is NVC and the consulate interview. And that is currently where the log jam occurs. On March 20th, due to the pandemic, most U.S. consulates closed their gates without warning. All visitors and even those applicants with confirmed, previously scheduled interviews were locked out. On the day the consulates closed, each had about, 2 or 3 months worth of cases already booked, with interview dates scheduled and confirmed, and more in their pipeline awaiting a chance to book an interview. All of these cases were instantly put on hold. Once USCIS has completed their review of an application, the case is passed on to the State Department's National Visa Center, NVC. Now, routinely, NVC only briefly touches a K1 Fiancé visa application, generally only working on it long enough to identify where it should be sent, assign the Department of State case number, sending an email to the U.S. sponsor letting him or her know that what the new case number is, then finally shipping it via courier to the overseas consulate where your fiancé will be interviewed. Usually this only takes a few weeks. For the remainder of March and partway through April, NVC continued to process cases as usual, touching, assigning, emailing, and shipping cases. As the consulate by that time already had many months of cases on hold and did not know when or how they would be able to reopen, well, they simply let these new arrivals pile up, planning to handle them, well, whenever. Eventually, NVC decided it made more sense to stop sending cases overseas and instead to hold these cases at NVC. And this has been the case since April. Pending cases are piling up at NVC. Unfortunately, NVC did not bother to notify you what was going on. The email from NVC, expected to arrive in a few weeks, was not sent. No notices have been sent. No news at all. And this has caused much concern from applicants, disappointed and frightened that no news, well, might mean that their case has been lost. No good news that a case is on its way to the consulate. Well, don't worry. Your case has not been forgotten. NVC is just sitting on your case, remaining quiet, patiently waiting for the day that the destination consulate advises it has reopened, cleared its backlog, and is ready to accept more cases. As the consulate probably already has a few months of scheduled cases, plus more cases in their pipeline on the day of closure, each consulate has a considerable backlog of applications that need to be cleared once they reopen. It'll probably take the consulates many months, again, after they reopen, to clear that backlog. And once they do, they will then contact NVC advising they are ready to receive the cases that have been held at NVC. Now, eventually, many months after reopening, it will be business as usual. In the meantime, expect continued delays. Now, watch your consulate's website for info of if and when it reopens. That will give you a starting point to estimate how long your case still has to go. Now, one area that concerns most is that when USCIS completes the review of your case and approves it, USCIS officially gives you 4 months to get your visa. Officially, if you have not gotten it or taken serious steps to book the interview, your case is denied. Well, since your case is likely to be delayed, and as the reason is due to the pandemic, and because USCIS, NVC, and the consulate are all well aware of the situation, do not fear that your case will be denied due to non-action. All USCIS expiry dates for cases in this situation will automatically be extended. Now, some countries have reopened, some are reopening faster than others, and some of our consulates have reopened already. Unfortunately, for fiancé visa applicants, the consulates are not viewing clearing the backlog of fiancé visa cases as a high priority. The consulates that have reopened are giving priority to spouses and children of U.S. citizens, and is trying to clear those cases first. Now, there is one exception, and that may apply to you. When applying for a fiancé visa, if your fiancé has children under the age of 21, they may be included with the parent's fiancé visa application and can come with the parent to the USA. However, the child is only eligible if under 21 and lands in the USA before his or her 21st birthday. So if your application includes a dependent child who is approaching 21 years of age and runs the risk to age out, most consulates will agree to expedite your case and treat it as a high priority. Good luck, stay safe, and well, try to be as patient as you can while your case is in process. This was Fred Wahl, the Visa Coach. Now, click here to sign up for our monthly newsletter and receive bonus ebooks. Here for YouTube's recommendation. Here for the full playlist of recent videos on fiancé visa. And here to subscribe to our channel.